All right. Well, hello, hello. Hey, Verna. Hey, CDB. Good to see you guys tonight. And everyone that's out there. Um, can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay. Can you see the bleach spot on my shirt that's driving me crazy? All right. Well, today is, I believe, January 28th, and it is the end of January here. So this is the last. Good, good. You can hear me. The last live stream. Um, of the year from nightly Saturday night live stream. We may be on tomorrow with Casey, hopefully. But so I kind of just wanted to let my mind wander and chase some squirrels and go down some rabbit holes and wherever chat wants to lead for a little bit. Thus the thumbnail image of the squirrel there. So for anyone that watches later or doesn't know me, my name is Matt. I'm here at Grafter Branch Homestead on our urban backyard homestead here on this in the Southwest Desert. And so um, it has been busy as always. Time goes so quickly. I feel like I get off these streams and I look down and look back up, and here we are again. And so that's a good thing, but time goes so quickly for the month and not the year, Matt. Yeah. Oh, did I say year? For the month. I'm sorry. Yes. So last stream of the month, not the last of the year. Thank you, Vernon. But I was just gonna show a couple neat little things I had out that I was kind of looking at. I think tonight, so I was gonna kind of show those off. I was gonna pull my little whiskey tango bird out and show her there real quick, and just a little bit of chat. And so we're kind of in a funny lull right now where I'm a couple weeks out from getting seed starts going, about 2 months or so out from getting plants out in the yard. So right now I'm trying to get some infrastructure built and things like that. As far as the quail, I keep going back and forth with whether I'm going to start more incubating or not. And for that right now, I think I've decided what I'm going to do is hold off a little bit. I think the main problem with the whiskey tango eggs was having them shipped with the weather in the country right now is kind of crazy. And so I'm going to wait until it warms up a little bit. And I'm actually going to, I think, get a good size order shipped in from Zach over at My Shire Farms. I know they hatch great, and I'm going to go about this a little differently. So, with cutting back my flock and not incubating here for, probably a month maybe, um, I've decided to look into more of the legal side of things, I guess, to say a little bit here. And each state does things um, do it, Matt. Have some of your own eggs while waiting. Well, part of why I'm waiting is each state has their own laws, and that's definitely something you want to look into. Now, a lot of states, quail don't really matter. You can do whatever you want with them. However, being here in New Mexico, you do need a registration or whatever you want to call it to have the quail. They're game bird. And so I have contacted them and I'm going about getting that done so I can make everything legal and then hopefully sell some of my own hatching eggs. So speaking of, I've got my Etsy shop up and going again. Right now I just have quail scissors in it. This week I'm going to be adding in the 12 and 18 count of the plastic quail egg cartons. And then next week, hopefully, I'll be adding the quail waters and quail feeders. And I want to build that up a little bit. Those do sell pretty well, and so I can get them at a good price. And I want to um, be able to offer those to people looking for quail things. Really, kind of what I was wanting to do was put together little quail starter kits. Then, of course, you'll need a cage and things like that, but come with some of the things you don't really think of right away for a real good price. So that's something you could check out. I post the Etsy link in some of my videos, and I'm going to do a video on that once I get more stuff in shop. So that's kind of coming around. But I want to do hatching eggs as well as selling the eggs and things I do right now. It's a good idea to be legal with it, and so I'm going about getting that stuff done so I can be all legal. Even though I think the law is ridiculous, you do want to do that. So I'm going about doing that, and with that, I want to really start my quail breeder program a lot better. And so now I have my 3-stack breeder cages. I have my big egg layer cage, and then my 2 I can use for grow out. and I have my big incubator I built. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do, I think, is just get one bird for now, probably the sex link ones from my shire, and do those and start breeding those and try and sell some hatching eggs and go about it that way. As well as some other products, some dried quail wings for cat treats, and a lot of other products that I want to be able to sell or try and do a little side thing there with that. And CDB is saying, great idea. Yep, thank you. I think any little bit helps. All right. So Farmer Casey, my son, Farmer Casey, there is popping his head in and probably trying to remind me. So tonight's going to kind of go all over the place. I'm going to let my mind wander and go down rabbit holes and all that. So try and follow, and if you like some of it, awesome. But I do enjoy the fellowship. So Casey just popped his head in, and right before this, we made a little video of his little plant. So I'm going to show that clip here now, so you all can enjoy that real quick. It's just real short. Verna's saying, Matt, have you ever let's see. Matt, have you ever have your hands on too many projects at once and forgot what you're doing? Okay, well, let's go into this real quick before I do that video. So yeah, that is a huge problem of mine. One of my big faults is that my mind goes all over the place and I get so many projects going. So one of my big goals and focuses this year is I'm trying to button up projects or trying to get ready. I've said that in some of my streams before. But so I'm trying to finish up projects, not take on any new big ones. That's the goal. We'll see how well I can do that, and just finish up the ones I already have going. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that this year. So hopefully I'll be able to show a lot of that. It's also my goal to film a lot of it and to actually get those films out for you guys to see. So instead of just doing some things. So tell Farmer Casey hi. I will if he pops in here again. He's probably watching right now. So Verna's saying hi to Farmer Casey there. But I'm going to play Casey's little video here real quick. Well, hello, Farmer Casey. So this is the zombie plant. Do you want to show us what it does? Sometimes it takes a minute. There you go. It's night, so at night they close up by themselves too. It's kind of like that plant from Avatar, huh? Yeah.
Little baby one fall down? Oh, yeah. Gotta use it. Yes, the baby one closed up.
That's pretty neat. And then it takes, what, about 20 minutes or so? So it pops back up?
Like 20 to 40 minutes.
20 to 40 depending. And then it'll pop back up?
Yeah, I don't know if it's doing good because of the light.
Alright, so that's a little clip of Casey showing us the plant back here. And he might actually be watching. Hopefully we're going to cook up some eggs for everyone tomorrow in some different way. Let's see. Zombie plant, cool. Oh, and it's hydroponic. Yeah, so it's a little that's actually why I know you had a arrow garden as well. Well, Casey got an arrow garden for the holidays here. That was one of his gifts. So he's got some tomatoes going in there and his zombie plant right now. I really like it. I think it's awesome for doing seed starts and things. It would be really neat. He's doing a great job with these tomatoes. He's got a head start on all of us. So Casey is, he's definitely got a green thumb there. But that was a kind of a fun little video. I wanted to show a couple things. I like to show little gadgets or doodads or, I don't know, little how-tos or things like that. So things I think are interesting and might help people out. So this here, actually I saw this from Cody over at Wrangler Store, I believe. I'm not sure where I saw it, to be honest. But this is a manual, and I do like to showcase things a lot of times that don't use power or a manual, as I'm always looking for those things. And so let's see. Oh, why is that? Oh, yep. So I don't know why that got sent for review, but And then CDB is saying how awesome. So this is a manual siphon or a little pump. And so how it works is it's got this real long tube that you hang over. This one here, you would put down in the water and you shake it, and it's got a ball bearing in there, and that will create pressure and it pushes the water up, and then that will start to siphon it. And so the reason I got this is I have rain catchment. Now you can use it like with gasoline. You put this in your little gas can and put this up in your car and shake it, and it'll pump the gas up into your car. I got it because I have the rain catchment systems on the quail barn and on the chicken coop and the different places. And sometimes I don't want to detach all that and pull it out when it's really full. I don't have overflows on them yet. There's also just other times that I want to pump some water out of there into a 5-gallon bucket to use, or the quail have their main 5-gallon bucket up high in their barn, and so I might want to pump it out from there, and without having to use power and whatnot. So this is just a neat little device. It's something you can pick up on Amazon. I think it cost me like $8. But neat, nifty little thing to have around. I mean, again, with gasoline, that would be awesome too. If you have a problem with pouring it in the car, if you have issues, neat little gadget. So that was kind of the first little thing I wanted to show. Spice of Life is reminding us, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for doing so. Yeah, hit that thumbs up, it helps, and subscribe if not. Looks like we got 5 people in here, so it's good to see everyone. I do notice on my streams, I have a lot more people that watch afterwards. And I've said many times I want to adjust the time I do this stream. I'm still tossing around ideas with that, and so may do a different time. I had one other little gadget, I guess, kind of I wanted to show. And first of all, I'm going to show just, I have some freeze-dried food here. Now, I'm not cool enough to be a member of the Harvest Right Club there that everyone is yet. Soon, I will soon, someday. But for now, I buy my freeze-dried food. So whether you're buying it or you're using freeze-dried food, this is going to be great for you or for other reasons. I got this actually many years ago, probably I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years ago from my father, actually. And what this is a cooker, a flameless cooker. And so this is great for camping. If you're in your tent and it's raining a lot and you don't want to start up that stove, you can cook your food in there. If you don't want to draw attention to yourself with fire, you could do that. I actually keep mine in my car. And this is in my car kit. And in case what made me think of it lately is watching people that get stranded out in the snow or in different areas like that. And they suggest have some food on hand. Sometimes eating hot food can help, especially if you're cold though, or if you're stranded in the desert, like out where I'm at. And you may not want to use a flame and you want to cook in your car. That's really why I have this. There's a lot of different reasons why you would use it, but it's really good at being able to boil the water or to heat up any food, really. I use it for the freeze-dried, but this is something I just wanted to show, and this is by Hydroheat, hydroheat.com. So again, I was going to open this up and just show how it works. Verna's wondering how it works. So it has these little packets. Now, you do have to have these packets. I got a box of them. They're not very expensive at all, and you need one for each time you cook. But I have a ton of them. So you get these little packets, and what you're going to do, if you can see on the back, it's probably backwards. Yep. So we're going to prepare your food in the stainless bowl. So we'll take our bowl, and in this case, we would dump out our freeze-dried food into the bowl, add the water, and then cook it in there. The other thing you can do that specifically with like these type ones, or if you have your freeze-dried food in Mylars, is just boil your water in here, and you could dump it in here if you like. I find it best to cook it in here, but I'm actually going to fire one up, and we'll get that going so I can show. But you take your little thing. We'll open this up, and you put this down in here with some water, and that activates it, and it'll heat it up real hot like the MRE thing. And then your food pan goes on top here, and we'll have our food in there. We'll throw on the lid, and you just let that sit. Now, I do want to put a caution out there. If you're using this and you open it, it gets a lot of steam, so be careful. But you can just let it cook, and that can cook in your tent, that can cook in your car, that can cook wherever you want. You don't have to mess with lighting and using fire, drawing attention to yourself, or creating hazards. So this actually stays in my car for me for emergency reasons, really. I've used it. The only times I've actually used it is camping. Great little device. And so I'm going to fire this up. And everyone's going to get a lovely view of my lap there. All right, let's see. Well, that's all right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll take this, and we want to get our food ready first, because when it starts cooking, you don't want to be messing with it. You want to let it cook. Now, these come at a premium right now. I was debating whether I actually wanted to open this up or not, because they're expensive. They're getting more expensive, and I do keep a lot of these on hand for emergency reasons. Also, just because I don't have a freeze dryer. But camping, backpacking, they're great for all kinds of reasons. I've eaten them. I keep some in my car again, like I said. And I've been at work and not had lunch or anything, and I've used one of these before. Different reasons like that. But great little meals. You can cook them if you have the means to boil water just right in the pouch here. They say they last, I think about 25 years. They really can go a lot longer than that. If it is a Mylar bag, a curling iron will reseal it. That is a great idea, Berna. So I could reseal this if I wanted, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and we'll just go ahead and use this one. But yeah, you're right. So I use an iron. Actually, want to do a video on the Mylar sealing. We'll do that one of these days. But for now, let's do this. We'll open this up, and it usually has a little oxygen absorber in there. Yep. Take that out. You don't want that in there. And so this is here I have is a chicken and rice. And so I really like the Mountain House meals. They're really good, I think. I'm going to dump that out into my pan. This is 2 servings. Or if you're me, it's 1 serving. But so I have a lot of different, of course, we grow plants. We raise the quail and chicken. We can a lot of our own things. Yeah, see, Best Buy, January of 2052. So that'll last you a while. But this is actually another line too, is we keep a box of these on hand. You never know when you might need them. They're great. I've had FD chili and FD ham and bean soup. Yep. Oh, do you see Solo down there waiting? Yeah, he is. Okay, we do want to put our water, so let's see. 1 1/3 cups, or about 11 fluid ounces. So let me get some water here. Solo, are you patiently waiting? Solo's on a diet right now, so he won't be getting any. You see, Solo had real long hair, and I gave him a haircut. And with that haircut, we were able to discover how badly he needs a diet. He needs to be on a diet, so we've had to cut treats out. So we need 11. This here is 16 ounces. So we're going to do a good majority of this bottle. There we go. And I need actually, I didn't grab my spoon. Let me grab a spoon real quick. So you can come with me. Come on, Solo. Solo, come on. We'll torch you. Come on in here. We want you to bug everyone else. Okay. So I hope everyone's hanging in there. Right? Still got 6 people. All right. So I want to stir that up a little bit. Get that mixed. And then the next thing we're going to do is get this heater going. So this is something, get down. This is something easily you could do, in your car or your tent somewhere. Use your own freeze-dried foods. Be preferable. So I like these, the way they taste, the Mountain House specifically. But of course, if you have your own, that's going to be much better. All right, let's see. Oh, FD means home freeze dried. Oh, okay. Oh, you made them yourself. That's awesome. Well, I didn't know that's what that meant. And that is really cool, Verna. So that's something I really want to get into someday. So hopefully. Okay, so I take my little heat pack here, and this needs half a cup of water, or about 4 ounces. And luckily here, this water bottle has about 5 to 6 ounces in it. So we will put, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add half a cup of water to plastic cooker. Remove large heat pack from the wrapper, and then we're going to put it in there. So I want about 4 ounces in here. It's about half a cup. There we go. And you can just have a water bottle, one of these heat packs, and a food thing. Food thing you make even better. You could just put that in here in one of these, throw that in a bag in a car or a tent, and not have to worry. So we're going to put this down in here at the water, and that's going to start heating that up real nice and hot. Put this down in it, and we're going to put the top on. It has this little cover on here, and it does get very hot, and you'll be able to see it bubbling and steaming in a few minutes. So I'm going to let that go for a few, and then I'll show everyone it bubbling up. So let's put this little thing back on here. And this does need to sit for, 15 minutes or so. So by the 15, 20 minutes, so by the end of our stream, we'll be eating that. But we'll let that sit there and cook. So it's kind of a neat, nifty little thing that I've just had for many years. I like the idea that you don't need the flame. So again, that would be good if a kid needed it and they were camping, or I don't know. There's a million different things. If you don't want to draw attention to yourself, you're out maybe somewhere and you don't want to have that campfire. People know you're there. Yeah. All right. So we're going to let that cook. I'm going to set that aside. And I did want to pull out the little birdie here. I'm actually not filming with my phone today, so I hope it looks and sounds okay. I'm using this little camera up here. And I was debating whether I was going to let some music play in the background. See, I keep getting this glare of the screen on my glasses. So I got to figure out, I keep trying to figure angles maybe, things I can do so you don't have to stare at that. But let me get this little birdie out. I just want to show this little birdie again. Oh, let's see. Matt, need to know what is in those packets so that you can make your own. Yeah, so this is like the hot hand type stuff. They are chemical packets, but you're right. So I'm assuming it uses maybe some sodium or magnesium. It does not say. Oh, it's quicklime. Contents quicklime. That might be something I shouldn't mess with, but I want to mess with. All right, let me set these aside. So I'm sure you could make these yourself somehow. I'm sure I can find a video on that somewhere. But so these freeze-dried meals, my dad actually got me on. I make my own little packet where I'll take these and like some drink mixes and the sugar packets and trail mix type things, and I put together little meal packages. Originally, they were used for backpacking and things, and then my dad started putting them together so we'd have a 2-week supply just in case, as a just in case box. And then they're just really great. I really like having them. Now, price has gone up crazy on them. So really, unless you have your own freeze dryer, I don't may not be very beneficial. So let's see if we can get this. I don't see a whole lot going on right now. We'll give that a little bit. Let's see. 5 to 30 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah, so not a whole lot's going on right now. We'll give it a little bit longer. These packets are pretty old, so hopefully they're still good. It's been a while since I've used it. We'll find out. All right, let's see. A white caustic alkaline substance consisting of calcium oxide, which is obtained by heating limestone and which combines with water with the production of heat. Lime. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Verna. It's probably something I shouldn't mess with, I'm guessing. It's something if I don't need to take more projects on. Okay, so let me get this little birdie out. Now, this little guy is the lone hatchling of my whiskey tango eggs. No, so that's not a treat. So I feel bad because she's in that cage all by herself for him. And I have a sock in there that she kind of plays with, pecks at. But as soon as she's of size, she's going to go in with the other four that I had hatched out of mine in the layer cage together. I just want them to be about the same size so that they don't fight each other, hopefully. And I'll put them in the dark as Verna's advice, and then in that brand new cage together. And so I'm going to end up probably cutting my guys down to about 10 of them until I can get all the paper, little paperwork, the registration and all in and back, I guess. Cute. Bet it's a rue, Verna's saying. Oh, okay. So why do you think it's a rue? I'm curious. I'm not good at sexing at all. Right now, okay, so sexing your birds you can do several different ways. Some of them I understand are sex linkable, so you can tell by the feathers. Some of them, and then you, of course, when they're old enough, you can kind of push on their rear, and if you see a little foam, it's a rue. My method is I watch them really intently for a while, and if they lay an egg, they're a hen, and if they make a call, I slap a little band. Oh no, get out of that trash. And if they make a call, I slap a little band around their ankle, and I know that they're a roo. So that's my method right now. By the sound it was making. Oh, okay. You've got a keen ear. I know when they make their actual roo call, but I'm not that good by just the sound. So, well, if it's a roo, it's a celadon roo. You banded your quail yesterday. How many quail do you have right now, Verna? You have the all whites right now, I believe. The jumbo whites. What was your count on your male, female, and all? Oh, I can hear it. I wasn't sure what that sound was. It sounds like a chirping kind of, but it's heating up. You can hear it kind of starting to boil, it sounds like. So this does take a little bit. I mean, this is something. Oh, all right. We can see a little bit. So let's see. So you can kind of see some bubbles. I don't know how well that shows. And I don't know how if you can hear it. Not too hot, but it is getting warm. And you can see the lids steaming up. And watch pot never boils, yes. That's true. So let's see, you only have 10 right now. Okay, so that's what I want to get down to. Only 4 females. So yeah, I heard you saying that, and I wasn't sure if I caught that right. But oh man, Verna. Woo, it's getting going. Oh, and it's getting hot now. Okay, so now it's really getting going. So you don't have very many eggs coming at all. Are you planning on incubating more of your own eggs then, or are you going to be purchasing more, or are you going to keep it small for now? What number do you like to sit at for how many quail you have? Yeah, it's chirping. So I know now with the koi too. I don't know if they're at harvesting age or whatnot, but that will. I'm assuming that's going to cut down on how many quail you're needing to cull. You'll be getting more. Okay. You like to have at least 90. That is a lot. That is a lot of quail, Verna. Yeah. I don't know. That's a lot. That's awesome. 3 koi ready for processing. Okay. So that is cool. I don't have my hand sanitizer here. I let my wife take it. Got some bird poo on my hand. It's something like I used to really bug me, but now I mean with chickens and the quail and everything, it doesn't so much anymore. It's actually a video I'm going to be making and I want to put out. I'm not sure exactly how you did it, but I know Verna suggested so I love my Winola Ranch cages, but one of the problems, quail are very messy. They kick their food everywhere and they kick their poo everywhere. And so one of the biggest ways you can cut down on quail feed cost is by controlling their mess and then throwing it. The problem I'm trying to control is the poo that kind of flies out sometimes. And so Verna's idea was to cut plastic from like the 2 liters and use that on the side, and that is a great idea. And so that is one I'm going to be doing hopefully this week here. Let's see. CDB's wondering what the koi tastes like. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Verna's saying, since I'm using other animals, I can drop it down to 50. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that. So we're gonna be. I want to, of course, beef up the quail numbers so that we can be eating them more. Hopefully, this spring as well. I'm going to be processing 3 of our chickens, and we'll be getting another probably 4 or 5 chickens. I want to go with all Rhode Island Red this time. I do like. Well, I take that back. That was my decision. Because they are really good layers, and just being with limited room right now, I was thinking of cutting it down to that. Now my wife, it says you to stir it every now and then, so I'm gonna give it a stir. My wife was looking today at the different colored egg layers, and since I wasn't very successful with getting the quail celadon eggs, I'm not sure if I'm gonna. I do want to do that eventually, but I'm not sure if that's something I'm gonna pursue right away. Um, but she was looking at the green and blue and Easter egg chicken layers, and so um, right now I have 2 different chicken areas, and that's because if you've been following me, my smallest chicken, Nikki, the little silky, she got kicked out of the flock. She got booted from the flock, and chickens will pick on anything smaller than them. Oh, Verna, actually, I had some people were talking in your stream, and I didn't mention on, but about quail around the chickens. I think that was in yours. No, that was in Chris's over at Slightly Rednecked. Some people were talking about quail around the chickens. Now, I did an experiment actually where I had some quail that I let live out with the chickens in their run and their hutch. And I did that trying to get them used to other animals or other birds out there. So when I did introduce the other chickens, it would be an easy transition. I don't know if that aided in my easy transition, but it did work out well. The chickens didn't bother the quail, mine. They left them alone. I didn't have any issues there actually at all. And they just kind of lived out in their run, and then I had a little house that they could get in. It worked well. I don't know if I'd do it again, but the chickens left them alone. But chickens will pick on smaller birds, and the Orpington buffs are the ones I did this experiment with, and they are very easygoing. The Rhode Island Reds are the ones that are aggressive, and they're actually the ones that booted Nikki out of the flock. So with all that said, I have 2 chicken flocks right now. I have my main one, and then behind the quail barn, I have another one that I'm kind of starting. So I'm gonna build a little house there. That's where Nikki lives. But I may end up doing the silky and the Easter eggers in that area and expanding that a little bit, and then doing, of course, my production ones, those Rhode Island Reds. And so right now people are wanting eggs. I'm giving a lot away. I'm blessing a lot of people with a lot of them. I'm selling a lot of them, and that's paying help pay for their feed. Um, so that's what those ones are doing. And then of course, when they stop laying, they become food. So it looks like hey, some other people stopped in. So we got Hendrickson Family Farm. Hello, good to see you. It is good to see you, and people are saying hello. Awesome. Bantams are the worst bullies. So I think my Silky's a bantam, I believe. I'm probably saying that wrong. And she's a bully. She's just very small. So the Rhode Islands I found to be the most aggressive. Now I only have experience with 3 different chicken breeds though, right now. So, and of course, once again, I do like to tie to and mention all the time. I am under no illusions as to what I can do on my urban homestead and the amount of space I have. What I am doing here is really honing in and practicing on skills. If you've never raised chickens before, you've never gardened before, or raised quail, or different things like this, it's not as easy as just throwing the seeds in the ground or grabbing the animals and going with it. There's a lot of learning curves there, and a lot of things to do. And so I have the chickens I have now. Of course, they're providing food, they're providing some money, some different things like that. But I'm learning as to how to care for them, what they really need. Some of my uh, things I learned that were mistakes, I guess, and things that really work, with the quail as well. Um, and the garden, most certainly. If you think you're just going to throw seeds in the ground and have a garden, a victory garden, you need to start now. Oh my goodness, every year comes with its whole set of issues. One year we just had bug issues. One year we had heat issues. Um, Always something new. And so it's this year I'm doing a combination of strategic planting and sunshade for the intense sun. New Mexico tends to get real long hours of just real intense sun. Um, Nothing's outside right now in the cold, so there's no greenhouse. That's also some expense I had planned on, but cutting out in hopes to get to some land. So nothing there. Ooh, this is getting really hot to touch. So you can see that there is steaming up, and that is hot. So we're gonna let that keep going. But I'd say this is a success. And so we'll try that out in a minute. I'll give it a stir in a few minutes. Am I rotating my crop? Oh, let's see. I missed a few here. You should get a hold of Lyndon Easton Weller. She can teach you about Hatch at Home program that you can make money with. Okay. I will search for her and try and find that. I'm not sure who that is, and I haven't heard of, but is it Hatch at Home Chicken or whatnot? So one of the things I don't have here on the Urban Homestead is a chicken rooster. I am legally allowed to, but I'm trying not to draw attention or really make my neighbors too angry. Now, once I get everything more legal, I guess, I get all my registrations and things in, that may be something I pursue. Originally, the whole reason I started looking at quail in the first place, though, was because I didn't have a chicken rooster, and I want sustainability. I want some self-reliance, and with having to rely on getting baby chicks or chicken eggs every time I need chickens, that kind of puts a halt in there. Now, once again, that's also where you need community. And knowing people is extremely important. That is something I lack. I am definitely a uh, lone wolf type individual. I'm trying to break from that. New Mexico, at least where I'm at in the urban area, is not very friendly to the types of things I'm doing. Anyways, a lot of people aren't of the same mindset, so haven't had luck with finding people locally. There are a few, like Renegade. I know Black Sheep. That's not too far. And I've actually been thinking about maybe doing some kind of meet and greet, maybe, or something. Community is important. So I could get baby chicks from there. But with that rabbit trail there, that's why I got the quail, is because I can have quail roosters easily, and no one's going to be bugged by those. So let's see, and then we'll get to this in just a sec. But Hatch at Home, it's where people rent an incubator, get everything they need to start with. Oh, they rent my incubator. Is where people rent your incubator and get everything they need to start with. So I've been thinking about what I would really like to do is like be people that want to do this, go to their place, get them all the things they need, get them going, and try and teach them and get them started. So that's something I really want to do. I really haven't mentioned that because I have no way of, I don't know how to go about that or how that would even work. If that's kind of what you're talking about, that's something I'm extremely interested in. I've thought about that with gardening too. And if anyone sees this and you're, somewhere near central New Mexico there, and you would like me to come over and help you with the garden and get things going and bring in soil and compost and some plants and stuff, I can do that. If you want help getting started with quail, and especially if it's here in New Mexico, I can help you with legal stuff now and get you going as well. So if that's what that is, if they don't keep the chicks, they return live chicks as well as everything they've rented. Oh, okay. That's yeah, that's something I'm gonna look into. Very interesting. And I hadn't thought of about that at all. Are you rotating your crops? Yes. So we are. Actually, I'm doing what I'm trying to do is find the crops that are really heavy producers of certain fertilizers. For example, beans put a lot of nitrogen back in the soil. And so what I'm trying to do is like rotate beans throughout so as to build up the nitrogen and then rotate different other crops throughout. I also throw in things there like the sunflowers and different plants that have the real large tap roots, the okra and things, and dandelions, so as to break up the soil I have here. Um, for example, the plot I had last year, I did sorghum, which kind of failed, but I followed that up immediately with my crop of corn, and we battled worms this year, but we did get a lot of good corn still. Learned a lot, learned a whole lot on that plot. That 8x8 square taught us a ton this last year. And then I followed that up with red winter wheat, and that's what's in there right now, overwintering. So that will come in the spring. As soon as that pops up, um, I'm going to be planting. I'm thinking I'm probably going to do half of it corn. Well, I'm debating whether I want to do the corn or the sorghum first or second. I do some beans around the edge there as well. I also do some natural fertilizers, some things some people may think are gross, but it's stuff you make to up nitrogen in there. And so different things. We try and rotate. I'm definitely learning a lot about that. Oh, hey, something I wanted to mention, and this is a rabbit trail. This is something I'm definitely going to do this year and definitely going to do a video on. So, of course, channel name, we're the Grafted Branch Homestead. And I've mentioned before that name comes more from spiritual reasons. I feel that through sacrifice of Christ that I'm grafted into the family of God. However, I want to get into grafting some plants this year. So grafting plants is awesome, and you can do it with many of them. The one I came across was the person had taken a potato and they grew it and they let it get yay big, and they cut the top off. And there's several different ways you can graft, different methods, and I want to do a video on that. But and then they take their tomato plant and you can cut the tomato plant and you can actually replant the suckers and get another tomato plant to grow. But you cut it at a certain point in a certain way, and you can graft that right into the potato stalk. And the way the guy was growing some great potatoes underground, and then some really big beefy beefsteak tomatoes up above. And so um, part of that potato foliage you really can't use. It's susceptible to blight a lot. You don't want the chickens to eat the potato foliage and stuff. A lot of times you just burn it or something like that. At least I do. So being able to change out that foliage for a tomato plant or something, and if I can get it to produce on both ends, that's a project I'm gonna do a video on. We're gonna try this experiment this spring and summer and see how well I can get that going. I mentioned last week, I think, about the Three Sisters method. I don't really have enough land or room here. I do want to get, again, the skill of doing that. So I think I'm going to do a mound and do one of those there. Um, I do a lot of companion planting. For example, we've really discovered planting basil all around the bases of the tomato plants, keep the hornworms away and help with moths. There's a lot of different ones you can do to keep different bugs away, as well as to provide the nutrients that the plants use. So again, this is why you can't just throw seeds in the soil and go out and start your victory garden. Maybe you can, and depending on where you live, if you're in somewhere like Oregon, yeah, you probably could throw seeds on the ground and get plants. But especially here in the desert, it takes some work. And so these are things you come across is learning crop rotation and learning about companion planting and things. It just takes time. It takes doing it. And I'm not the smartest person. No knock to myself, but I know I'm not the smartest person. It does take me a while. I love learning and investigating, but sometimes it seems to take me a little longer than others. That's okay. I enjoy the journey, and that's the majority of it, anyways. Oh, oh, and Hendrickson Family Farm looks like they just jumped in. They had to run. Thank you for showing up. I do appreciate it. You have a blessed evening there. And Vern is telling them as well. Yeah, so the potato plant and the tomato plants are related. I believe they're from the nightshade family. And so there you can graft them. You can do this also with fruit trees like peach trees and apple trees. Something else, again, we have limited space and land here. So I have a peach tree that I grew from pit. Years ago, I took a pit from a peach tree that my wife's family parents had, threw it in the ground, and it grew. So now I have a big peach tree. Well, I don't have a lot of room to plant other fruit trees, but I kind of want to experiment with grafting in an apple branch or something else on there. So that's something we may do. I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. And it is, I don't know if you can hear it, but it has been bubbling and boiling away. I think it's been going about 20 minutes. I'm not exactly sure. Oh man, that smells wonderful. I'm actually going to add a little bit more water though. Just a bit in there. You know, this is something you could even, I mean, if you were like a contractor or a construction worker, or I don't know, a lot of different kind of jobs that take you out on the job site. This might be something great to have. You could throw this in a bag, throw a meal. If you have a freeze dryer, throw your own food in. You don't have to do just freeze dried food though with this. You could throw in a can of tuna. Probably not tuna, but a can of chicken. Maybe some Uncle Ben's rice, those packs that you have in the car, something like that. When this is really hot, I'll show real quick. Let's see. And so, anyways, and then heat it up and eat it on the job site. And so I'm actually going to taste this a little bit. I'm going to see if it's how done it is. That's the Mountain House chicken and rice. Ooh, it's hot. Wow, that is good. It's hot. It heated it well. Really cooked it well. And of course, unless you do what you call FD, I think, unless you do your homemade. Besides that, Mountain House really is the Cadillac of the freeze-dried food. That is bubbling away in there. I'm gonna finish that up. I'm glad I made that whole thing. It was very good. That is why I stay up for 36 plus hours many times. Your mind runs 1,000 miles a second. Yeah. So I understand that. I am always the last person to go to bed. I used to be the first person to get up. Now my wife a lot of times is beating me there, but my mind gets going and I get off on projects and rabbit trails, and I understand, Verna. Matt, when you do grafts on the peach tree, you will need to graft on the other stone fruits, not an apple. Learning. Thank you, Verna. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense then. So I would need to graft, so maybe like a peach and a nectarine, maybe? I think a nectarine's a peach, is a stone fruit, right? We'll look into that. I really want to eat this thing up. It's really good. And it is bubbling over there. But It is an expensive brand. So I got most of my mountain houses like I don't know, almost 10 years ago probably, and I got a lot given to me by my father, like I'd mentioned. But when I was buying them, they're like I think $7. They were like 6.99, maybe 7.99, maybe for the two serving, and they used to be bigger too. So shrinkflation is a thing. They've cut down on their size a little bit. I've noticed, but so I have a lot of them from then. If you're buying them now, I think I've been looking at them now. I think they're like 12, $13. I mean, everything's gotten so expensive. So I'm not. I don't promote anything. I don't make any money. I just show stuff. But I like them. I haven't been buying a lot of them. What I do is every once a month, kind of, I go and I buy a packet, and they add up, and they last forever. And so if you do that and you're not using them, then you'll have a bunch. But eventually, I want to get my own freeze dryer. That's really the way to go. And you know what? As this stuff gets smaller and more expensive, the cost uh, weighing out the cost there of the harvest right really makes sense, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of camping, backpacking, selling with some survival foods, or you have a good reason for doing so, or just preserving your food. Move, Solo. There we go. Dog was laying on my cord. Or just preserving the food. I'm going to be rude, and I'm going to eat on camera, and you guys are going to have to bear with me because this is sitting here smelling so good. Mm. But, yeah, peach, plum are different varieties of each. Peach, plum, nectarines, cherries. Oh, apricots, dates, olives. Hmm. Olives would be cool to grow. Oh, hey, another little squirrel moment. I think I'm getting closer to figuring out that sandwich. So if you've been watching me a little bit, one of my goals here is to produce a sandwich that is as close to 100% as I can, made from ingredients that I have produced here. And so I got the wheat going. I'm learning how to make bread off my own wheat berries, and I've done that. So as soon as I get those wheat berries, hopefully I'll get enough bread to make a sandwich. And then I was thinking, I'm probably gonna have to do a quail sandwich, like a quail lettuce tomato one, which sounds great. I may do, um, or whatnot. If I want cheese on it, that I can't. I'm gonna have to get the milk. Now I can make the cheese. Um, kind of complicated. And then I was looking at seeds this year, and I came across peanuts. And I thought, you know what? This last year we made our own Concord grape jelly. Fantastic. I still have some on the shelf. It was really good. And I'm going to be making more of it. I'm going to grow peanuts this year. And my first sandwich I'm going to make is going to be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So there's a few things. I'm going to have to do natural yeast. Salt, I don't think I can produce here. So it's not going to be 100% on that. And some other things. But we'll see how close I can get. Now, if that sorghum was a success, I might have been able to get some sugar from that, or if I had bees or something. But that's good. So we're almost at an hour here in about 5-6 minutes. So I'm going to go another 5-6 minutes. We'll let this stream go for an hour. This one definitely I didn't have a real purpose as to what I was talking about. A few things I wanted to show. Definitely one of those squirrel type moments. And so I do appreciate everyone that's joined, and that's watched me and bared through all of those moments. Yeah. So yep. Sugar cane and sorghum. Sorghum makes molasses. I could use that, I believe. I'm learning a lot. I learn a lot from you guys too, so I do appreciate everyone in here. But well, I really think this thing is a success. I've used it before, like I said, but it's probably been. I think the last time I used it was probably 5 years ago or so. So I'm actually going to pull that tray out because I think it's going to. I don't want it to burn in here either. So this is pretty hot. Ooh, you can see all that steam maybe. There we go. I don't know if you see it in the background here. This is where I'm starting some seed starts. So either next week or that next one, I gotta check out my farmer's almanac. I gotta think about what I think the weather's gonna do here this year, and all of that. Oh, that's great. I've never tried to reuse it. I will. I'll pull it out. I'll let it dry. I'll try and reuse it. And if I can, I'll do a standalone video or I'll let you know. But great idea, Verna. That's a good idea. There we go. Well, I'm hoping to be on, I guess, a little bit as our schedule. I might, chances are I'm not going to be on next week. We're probably not going to be doing the Saturday night stream. Next week, I have a lot of dental work, and part of I I don't go to the doctor. I don't go to the dentist. I really don't like it, and I should. Part of preparing myself and being ready, I guess, is the terms I'm using this year, is I need to take care of myself. And so I do need some dental work. So I'm getting a lot of dental work done this week, late this week. And so I may or may not be on for the live stream, depending on how I'm feeling. Sundays, we, of course, do garden chat with Matt normally. Right now, because it's winter, that's not going on. Farmer Casey has been joining a lot, and we've been having a wonderful time cooking lately. We may or may not do that. He's my son and a child, and so we do not stay on a certain schedule necessarily. We try and do it when we can, and when he wants to do that. And so we may be on tomorrow, hopefully. He's always excited to do it, so we kind of have to play it by ear. And so look for the tabs on that, and if we're doing that, join us. But your mind never shuts down. Yep, you're awesome, Brenda. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And you've definitely added a lot to my life. I've learned a lot from you, so that's a blessing. Um, yeah. So we'll see you guys next time. I'll either see you on your stream or I'll catch you next time I'm on. Hopefully, it's always my goal to get a standalone video out. So hopefully that'll happen this week. But until then, everybody have a blessed week. Stay strong. Do the things. And every day, whether you're doing the one step forward, two steps back, or two steps forward, one step back, or you're really making a run for the line there, do something every day to be progressive and um, making it count. See everyone next time. Stay strong. And thanks, CDB, for moderating.